So, yeah. With GPS conditions, and we're willing to go by curfew.
That's cute. No. I'm showing homeboy has a felony warrant. Do you mind looking into it for me, please?
Yes, sir.
This is Mr. Caballero, CAB. Mr. Caballero, you're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. Good morning, Sean.
On April 24th in Harris County, officers located an occupied stolen motor vehicle. Officers conducted a TCIC, NCIC check on the motor vehicle and it returned as stolen out of Lamarck PD. Traffic stop was conducted on the motor vehicle as a high-risk stop. The officers observed the defendant in the back passenger seat. In an inventory search of the motor vehicle, recovered a 9mm handgun that did not have a serial number on the back passenger floorboard in the defendant's reach. Miranda warnings were read, and the defendant later advised officers that he had been picked up by the others in the motor vehicle and went to shoot a video and was holding the handgun and then put it down in the motor vehicle. At the time of the arrest, the defendant was under 18 years of age.
How old?
Under 18.
He's under 18.
At the time of the offense, is what the DIMS say, Judge. I'm showing that he is.
Last year, in March, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. 3 months later, robbery, and now unlawful carrying of a weapon. Mr. Caballero, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm now going to put a GPS monitor on you, and I'm giving you a curfew of 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. You're going to jail now because you have an open felony warrant. But if you do bond out, did you get a PR bond in this case? You know, let's. No, he's got a surety bond. Okay. As a condition of your bond, you were ordered not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. Does he have a license to drive, Sean?
You check it, Judge. I'll have a list on that. He does, Judge. Not eligible.
This is an affidavit that you're going to sign with me today, promising me two things, Mr. Caballero. Number one, that you're not going to drive. You do not have a Texas driver license. You are not allowed to drive. Also, I'm putting on here that you're not to have any weapons. If I find you with either, I will have, and I can have a contempt hearing. Every time you violate it, it's an offense in and of itself, punishable by 180 days in jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand? For now, I'm going to have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. You will sign your bond conditions, and after that, we're going to put you in jail. Goes with you.
Oh, okay. You got it.
Mr. Martinez. Over and over and over and over and over. Some people just don't. 8/18/25, theft. 11/4, failure to ID. 11/4, DWI second. The next day, another theft. A month later, criminal mischief. And somehow, while I'm bond for all that, now another theft. That makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 open cases. Sorry, 6. And this is not my first rodeo with Mr. Martinez. I have had him on here at least 4 different cases, and all those cases at 7505, because at least 5 different occasions he's failed to appear for a court. You are a flight risk, Mr. Martinez. And I will now set each of your bonds at what's reasonable in light of 6 open cases and that he can't come to court.
Well, Your Honor, I don't have an excuse for you, but I do have an explanation I'd like to give you.
No kidding.
If I may. In the past, unfortunately, he had stumbled into some homelessness due to some issues with him and his wife. He broke up, he got kicked out. That led down to some snowballing effect into couch surfing and bad decision making. However, he's now back with his wife. They have a place. He's got a job at a landscaping for a business. He's doing his own landscaping on the weekends to make some extra money. I do have contact with his, contact number for his wife and his. We are absolutely willing to do the GPS monitoring. He understands, we talked in detail about this court's position on bond violations and missing court. I understand the court's hesitance. So I'm not asking for a PR bond. However, he is indigent and him and his wife do have a couple kids together and he's the breadwinner. So I would like to ask this court if you'd be open to it for $1,000 bond. Sure.
Yeah, that's what it is. No, this.
With GPS conditions and we're willing to go by curfew.
That's cute. No. Each of your bonds will be set at 25,006 because I find by clear and convincing evidence there are no non-financial conditions that will suffice to get you to come to court and to protect our community. You have 6 open cases, and on 4 of the last cases that you've had here, you have failed to appear on 5 different occasions. Now, if you do end up posting bond, you will get a GPS prior to release. You will be under house confinement. You are not to drive. You are not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. And no contact with, tell me where are all the thefts from?
The newest theft is from Walmart. The one from October is also from Walmart. And the one from August is from Target.
You are not to go to Walmart. You are not to go to Target. And Mr. Leonard, I want to give you a brief that prior for anything on these cases, I would like to do a T-rest to see how we go forward because it's apparent that I just don't know what the correct way of going forward in light of the fact that, Mr. Martinez, let me give you a little perspective. In 1 year, you have picked up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cases in 1 to 1.5 years. I really don't know how to go forward, but I think that it would be prudent and wise to probably do a T-rest to see. So there we go.
Will that be something issued about today?
I don't know. I mean, we can, if you'd like, I'd like to talk to him for you to talk to him to see how, but
Sure, yeah, we spoke already today. If we can get that started.
yeah, I think that's probably,
I'll get started on the,
okay,
on the cases.
thanks.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay.
Good morning, Ms. Johnson.
Good morning, Mrs. Fletcher. Judge Fletcher.
Oh, she was.
You now stand charged with evading arrest or detention. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, ma'am. Okay.
On April 15th, in Harris County, officer observed a motor vehicle making a abrupt right turn and parking in the driveway. I found the motor vehicle to also have expired registration. Officer later observed the same motor vehicle at an intersection. A traffic stop was conducted.
What makes this exchange so interesting is that the judge keeps returning to one theme: accountability. From his perspective, the issue isn't simply driving a vehicle. It's the fact that the defendant had already agreed to specific bond conditions and then allegedly violated them. Bond conditions are promises to the court, and judges generally view violations very seriously because they affect trust and public safety. But what do you think? Was the judge being fair by revoking the bond and increasing the amount, or should personal hardships like losing a job and struggling financially have carried more weight? And just when it seems emotions are calming down, an explosive outburst sends the courtroom
That is a
drama in an
promise
entirely
that you made
different
to me,
direction.
that you would not drive. And yet, not only did you pick up a new case, but you're in I don't think that there are any conditions that I can place on you that you will adhere to.
Judge, I can't.
The
I go to
only
work.
thing I
can't.
asked you not to do was drive a vehicle. That's all I literally asked you not to do. I'm now going to revoke your bond on your first case, and I'm going to set it at 5,002.
I can't pay that.
You know, as the old adage goes, actions have consequences. I didn't ask much from you.
I pay taxes like just like everybody else. I was going to work. I go to work, Judge. I don't do nothing else. I go to work and I go home. That's it. I promise to God. That's all I do.
It don't matter what you do. All I ask you to do is follow the flipping law. That's all I'm literally asking you to do is follow the law. I'm not asking you to split the atom. Everybody has to go to work.
Exactly.
If you're going to do stuff, you got to do stuff the right way. Otherwise, there are consequences. If you know there's a dumbass cop that's trailing, we don't ask much from you, Ms. Johnson. We ask you to follow the law. Really, all I asked you not to do was drive and don't pick up a new case. When my 4-year-old son repeatedly tells me sorry, and I repeatedly let him go, what is the value of that sorry, Miss Johnson?
It might not mean nothing.
Right. And at some point, if we continue, I become an enabler, telling you, look, it's okay for you to keep doing what you're doing because nothing's going to happen. That is not what we do here.
I don't even have the job no more. I got fired. You ain't got to worry about me driving or anything.
Actions have consequences. You are now, what are you 41?
Yes,
Right?
sir.
It's never too old to start learning. But at some point, you have to understand that we have to hold your feet to the fire so that you understand that we mean business. And the reason why is not for you, but for everybody else in this world. If you should happen to get into an accident, it's never on purpose. That's why they're called accidents. They happen. And if you do something to someone else's car, and because aside from your house, your car is your most valuable piece of property that you will ever own in this life, aside from a house. And people rely on it. If you get into an accident and you maim someone else's car and you don't have insurance, what has now happened to that other person? How is that fair? Right. I'm asking you to follow the law. And I hope that now you will understand why we do what we do. So, I mean, you forced my hand. You promised us. And now it's over, and it's over, and it's over. We now have 3. It's out. It's over.
I don't have a job. I don't even work. I can't even drive. I don't have nothing to do. I have nothing. I don't have a check coming in, nothing. What's the point of driving now? I got a Metro car. It's true what I'm saying, though.
Don't place blame on anyone else.
I take full accountability.
Great. But at some point, you also have to understand that we also have to hold you accountable. I know that you're holding yourself accountable, but we have to as well. Because, okay, she goes with you. So I'm going to set the bond at 5,002 on the new case. On the old case, I will leave the new one as is. And then you tell me.
You a bitch ass nigga, man. You a bitch. You a bitch ass nigga.
That's right. Mr. Perez, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
Officer observed a motor vehicle on I-45 appeared to be speeding above the posted speed limit of 65 miles an hour. Vehicle took an exit and then began speeding at 114 in a 50-mile-an-hour zone. Traffic stop was conducted. Driver was identified as the defendant. Defendant had a suspended license. Officers detected a strong odor of alcoholic beverage, thick-tongued speech, droopy and glossy eyes, and the defendant to be unsteady on his feet. SFSTs were conducted 6 out of 6 HGN, 4 out of 8 walk and turn, and 1 out of 4 one-leg stand. DIC was red. Defendant refused to provide a sample. Blood search warrant was executed and blood was drawn.
Tell me why it was suspended. Are there any prior DWIs?
Nope. No priors, Judge. Let me see what the action was for suspension.
Mr. Perez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. You speak English, correct?
Sure.
I'm telling you now that if you drive, I will have a hearing.
Today's hearing highlighted a recurring issue judges face every day, balancing compassion with accountability. We saw one defendant lose the judge's trust after violating bond conditions. Another received strict warnings after an alleged DWI involving excessive speed. A young defendant facing weapon charges while already carrying a serious criminal history. And finally, a defendant with multiple open cases whose repeated failures to appear convinced the court that stronger restrictions were necessary. Throughout these cases, the judge emphasized that court orders aren't suggestions, they're obligations, and repeated violations often lead to tougher consequences. Now we want to hear from you. Which case stood out the most, and do you agree with the judge's decisions? If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts.
Have you got to come up here, swear to us you're not going to drive? I'll have you sign a reset. You'll eventually meet with Veronica for your bond conditions, then we'll give you time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
114.